Today we're visiting Clovis, which borders with New Mexico and Texas. Here we're looking to visit Zachery and Rachel, who came and served 2 years of their life 14 years ago. Today we're gonna find out how they make a living as dairy farmers.
Unbelizeable!
If you stay with me, you will see the behind the scenes on how they run their farm and the opportunities if you are seeking to work in America. And Matt is traveling with me since we share the same friends together. And yes, we almost never made it there.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that one was, but we're going to try it again. So hopefully we land smoothly on this one. I've flown a bunch. That was definitely not the greatest of landings, so that's why we went back up. So hopefully we land smoothly this time around. All is well though.
Yeah! I've been traveling for the last few weeks and I can tell you I have never experienced this on a plane. This time we definitely tighten our seat belts. Just in case.
It's part of the adventure. Not every pilot is perfect, but I'm so glad that he went up and we're gonna try again. Yeah.
Yeah. Power management. Nice. We got a little bump.
How are you?
Yeah, I didn't know you was coming.
No, you didn't.
What's up, Zachery?
One. Hey.
Wow. Man, you look good soon, man.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Not as humorous.
What else? Let's throw out it turns white. Yeah.
My mom never hugged me.
Yeah.
Clovis has one of the biggest production of dairy farms. This is where they have la leche, el queso. But I have here Armando.
Hi, my name is Armando Jimenez. I come from a Mexican family, as my family was born in Chihuahua. I am born and raised in Clovis, New Mexico. I started in the dairy farm because my parents, that's where they started, as they were from Mexico. I started milking cows, working nights and days as I was growing up. And after that, I met the family from Heritage Dairy. And I started working with them, getting to know them a lot more. I worked for them for like 5 years. I left and came back and I started in the farming department.
This is a corn chopper that cuts the corn into silage for storage.
Which is a great thing to do because you get to know more. So let's say in God's creation was a cow. A cow creates milk, cheese, fertilizer, and meat. And without all that, we are nothing. If we don't have meat, we don't eat. We don't have milk, we don't have cereals. I love cereal. If we don't have manure, we don't have fertilizer for the fields. If we don't have cheese, we don't have quesadillas. Think about it. Just one cow gives you that much. If you think about it, this is the best thing that can happen to us. The dairy and the farming production is one of the best things as a Latino, as a Chicano, whatever y'all want to call it. I think this is a great experience to work on and be day by day getting up to do this, sundown, sun up. It's always nice, and working with great people like our leader, it always takes one person to make it better. And if the leader leads you to the great path, your manager and your workers will work for you forever. And I thank that to all Heritage people.
There are so many components to run this dairy farm. From the heavy equipment that if it's not clean, it can catch on fire because of how dry it is here in New Mexico. Now that we have our load of silage, it's time to deliver it and to see the Heritage Farm where they deliver this load of silage. This is where they keep all the cows and also milk the cows and keep the baby ones. Well, we are in for a treat. But first, we need to weigh the amount of silage that we're bringing in this truck. I love the organization that this farm has. Some procedures that they must follow. If you get the green light, that means you're ready to go and take the silage to where they load and storage. This is where things start getting very exciting. We'll get to see some of the behind the scenes that you have been waiting for. Like the silage, I finally got to touch it.
That is unbelievable! Hey guys, welcome again to Clovis, New Mexico. Some of you might know me, some of you maybe not, but welcome you here to our dairy.
So we have a family dairy, the name is Heritage. We enjoy what we do, agriculture, we enjoy working with animals, and even more importantly, we enjoy working with people and encouraging people and building them up and showing them the love of Christ when we have opportunity to do that, which is all the time. We welcome you to learn more about where we live and about our dairy and just about who we are.
I'm Rachel Cordell. Some of you might remember us, and a big shout out and hello to everyone in Belize.
So this is my oldest boy, Elliot. Elliot's 8 years old. In fact, he's got his Belize shirt on today. He's our oldest boy, and then after you came who? Bros. So this is Bros Cordell. He's 6 years old, and Bros just loves to run and jump and play and do anything he can, right? He loves to climb the mountains of corn.
Right
She
there.
is.
See, look. You can climb up.
They've done it a few times.
He's really good at it. And then after him is our daughter Thea. She's 2 years old, and she loves trying to keep up with her brothers. You say she is adventurous, and she loves to smile for the camera.
To everyone we miss and love in Belize. Belize is still our home though, forever will be.
Absolutely. We left a lot of our heart in Belize, and we still have to go back and get part of it at times.
We've got a feed system to be able to feed our cows the nutrients they need to produce the delicious, wholesome milk that we are so proud of. We have silage right now being chopped, corn silage, that is going to provide the feed for our cows, the silage, corn silage for our cows for the next year. As we go and see this, keep in mind we're chopping it in the field. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit of that, and then we have to pack it down and get most of the air out of it so that it will ferment properly and not spoil. And he comes up and pushes it up and then packs it down until it's enough packed that we can cover it, tarping and tires, and let it ferment and produce a good quality feed for us for next year. Here we have cotton seed. So we take cotton out of the fields, and the cotton is made into clothes and different textiles, fabrics, and the rest of the cotton seed is a waste to most, but for us, it's energy. It's protein for our animals, and it's super fun to play in. This is actually a cotton plant, so this is what it produces. Right here, you can see the boll. This is called the boll. This is just volunteer from having the cotton pile close by. Has a beautiful flower. It's actually kind of in the, I think it's the okra family. Look at that, almost like hibiscus. And then pretty soon it produces this white boll of cotton that'll pop open, and then it's harvested. We have lots of different ways we contain our feed. We have square bales like you can see, and round bales, and then back behind me here, these we call our ag bags. They're silage containment bags. So we put anything from like alfalfa silage, which we call haylage, or corn silage, or even things like wheat silage in all of our ag bags. And that also keeps it and retains the moisture and helps it to ferment without a lot of loss and spoilage. All the way like that. They're different lengths, and when we crack into one, we have to finish it until it's done so that it doesn't spoil.
Before we continue, I want to explain you the difference between silage, hay, and haylage. Well, this is a crop like sorghum. So this crop has been cut a few days ago, and now this gentleman is turning it around so it can be dry, because this is the preparation for hay. And hay, from what we need to understand, it's completely dry. Now we are going to go and see how the other machine picks up this hay for the cows. One of the icons of farming is the John Deere, and it's because of its technology and durability, and the driver needs to watch front, backwards to make sure that this machine does what it meant to do. But it's an expensive part of equipment. There's 3 products that come out from these crops when they're harvested. So there's hay, haylage, and silage. The difference between hay and silage is that silage is dry, completely dry. Then the silage is wet. You cut it and you store it immediately. And the haylage, it's in between. It's wet and dry, but it's also stored in packs so that they can become very good food for the cows.
Un saludo para el Caribe. Si quieren venir al sueño americano, bienvenidos. Hay trabajo, pero es un trabajo muy duro.
When you're running a big operation like this, I can barely keep up with Zachery, but I can keep up with Rachel. Rachel has a lot of knowledge. Her family has been doing this for many years.
The ones that are yellow tags are females, these are our heifers, and the ones that are red tags are bulls. And we have them all in the same row, and they're from about 24 hours old. They come out here and they get to be fed and watered. They've got fresh, just a little bit of grain to nibble on. They're really drinking primarily milk, so at this age. But just to get them used to, if they're a little able to, they can eat some grain, have their water. This one here you see already has a mark on his head. That's how the guy who's taking care of the babies and the mamas when they're first born, how they know that they've gotten 3 feedings of colostrum. And that gives them the passive immunity that they need for the rest of their life. Here you see only yellow tags, or as we'd say in Belize, lone yellow tags, right? So you have them growing up in size. Back there were the babies. They move up this way as they grow, and then all around. So we keep them all the same size, and then they don't have as much competition. You know, they're not picking on someone of a smaller size that way. They're all equal. And yet still they have the herd mentality because they're herd animals, so they have a hierarchy of sorts. Around the right height and the right age, we begin to breed them, and as they become pregnant, then they will join in a different pen once they're pregnant as heifers. They'll become first-time mamas, and then we will, from there, they'll have their first calf and they enter the milking herd, which we get to go see next, the barn. The milking parlor sounds fancy, where all the ladies get to give their milk. Beautiful animals God has made. You can always tell a heifer has a smaller udder usually, whereas a cow looks like she's had a baby, been milked before, and her udder is larger in size. These are some of our milking pens, so these are ones that move in and out twice a day or 3 times a day in order to be milked into the milking parlor. And they go out and come back in and find their feed and fill their bellies, and then they rest, and they pretty much live a pretty lazy life. Chewing their cud, eating their feed, and they line up at the gate sometimes because they're ready to be milked. And this particular breed of cow is called Holstein, and they're developed and selected for higher milk production. There's several breeds of cows, 9 I believe, and they're all different in components. Some have higher milk fat, some have higher production volume, quantity of milk, and the Holstein has a high volume of milk. They produce way more. One Holstein cow could produce way more than one family would need. All right, let's jump out and see these cows milk. Here we have our milking parlor. This is where we milk all of our cows. So each line of cows is 35 cows in each section. And they're milked all at once, and it takes about 8 minutes. And then there's a gate that goes up, and they walk straight out when they're done and go back to their pen. So the better care we take of them here in the parlor, the healthier they stay. Changing out filters, because that's another way that if there is anything we don't get off and clean on the other, the filter will catch all the rest of the little things. These tanks, it only shows really just a small portion of them. They go way back here. Each load will be about 53,000 pounds of milk. So the temperature of the milk when it exits a cow is about 105 degrees. And then it cools very quickly down to about 40 degrees here. We have our cooler here, so you can feel when it goes in, it's hot. And when it comes out, it's cold. Those two you can touch and you can feel the difference in temperature. Our record keeping system basically, and it has, if you would look up a cow's number, we use DairyComp, our software especially designed for keeping records on cows. Their milk production, like when their birthday is, and how much milk they produced in a full cycle lactation. It's everything you could ever want to know about a cow. We have better records on them than we do on ourselves sometimes. We always say we take better care of our animals than we do of ourselves, but that's because it's such a science. It takes a lot of detail and a lot of time and attention for sure.
There you have it, a tour of the dairy farm from Zachery and Rachel. Now it's time for some family time. Miniature goats, the best. I wish we can have them in Belize. One day we'll have it for the kids of Belize. And yes, family time, always good to quiet the evening. As I am running out of time, Zachery is gonna give me a tour of the city of Clovis. I hope you enjoy. That is one of the biggest cheese factory for cheddar in the whole wide world.
Yep, it's the biggest.
Lowenstein and Steel. Like, it's a state of the arts right here in Clovis. A lot of people don't know that, but it's right here in Clovis. It's unbelievable. We are in Clovis downtown main road. This little town, or this little city, is not a little city, it's actually very big. Here we have military base, a big military base. Here we have some of the biggest dairies in the whole New Mexico. And we have one of the biggest cheese factory, mozzarella, right here in Clovis. Clovis have everything that you need. As this downtown where I'm at right now, you can find every hardware, the store, food, clothes. There's a lot of jobs here. There is a lot of work that is waiting for you to fill the shoes on. Keep it unbelievable and don't be scared, be smart. You guys gotta move to Clovis. You have everything here. Look at this. Everything you need right here in Clovis. Amazing, amazing small city.
Frozen yogurt.
From where Zachery is standing, all of that is ice cream.
All of it's ice cream and frozen yogurt.
And then you turn around and
Got fudges,
more ice
bars,
cream.
and dilly bars, and more.
Look at this kid, he goes wild here with those ice cream.
Icicles.
Oh man, that is crazy how much variety it is.
Yeah.
It's a small city, but it has way more than we could ever imagine. In Belize City, you only get few stores, few very nice stores, but here you have plenty.
I do not know which one is much nicer, hurricane or a haboob. A haboob means a dust storm, like you're seeing right at the back. Literally, this is nothing yet here in New Mexico or Texas. This is something typical, but not at this time of the year. This time of the year, this is the most beautiful time of the year, and we're getting this. The dust is going through. Dang. Whoa.